All right, you guys, welcome in. Welcome to November. I hope you're doing great. Let's see what's on tap for my Aquarian friends, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I'm an Aquarius Venus. I'm also an Aquarius progressed Sun. So let's see what's going on for you guys and what can you expect from the month of November 2024. We are moving more in the direction of your energy, which you'll be happy to hear will be lasting for like 20 years. Yay! Pluto moving into your sign in November. Transmute, psychic. Jealousy. What's going on here? Okay. And meditate. So some of you are really, it's almost like you're fleeing from a toxic environment. Okay, some of you have fled in the past. Maybe you're a scapegoat of a family, or some other role in the family that you're just running away from. You could also have a lot of relationship issues related to family dynamics, growing up in dysfunctional family or something like that. If that is not going on for you, this feels like it's coming from an outside source. This jealousy, somebody is wicked jealous, as we say in the New England area. Especially if you are really tapping in to your psychic abilities, if you're really stepping into your personal power. They're watching you. Hi. They're watching you. So let's see where we're going here. 7 of Cups, underneath 10 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. So I love you guys, because this does feel to me like there is happiness ahead. And even though you might be somebody who was scapegoated by the family, or who was in some kind of toxic situation, I want you to look, growing up. Okay, so we talk quite a bit about that on this channel, about narcissism and family systems that are dysfunctional, and the opposite of dysfunctional is not perfect. The opposite of dysfunctional is functional, okay? And so if something can't function without scapegoating a person, or without abandoning a person, or without any, without these kinds of things, most families have these roles in them, and they're fairly unconscious. But the reason I love this so much for you is you see it. And if you're seeing it, that's why happiness is ahead. Because only through awareness can you ever get anywhere. And it's sort of like, I will say that the first thing, awareness is the first thing, but there's this sense of like, yeah, that was happening. And you might have this like battle with your ego about wanting to get them back, or about wanting to fire back, or something like that. But honestly, like, living your best life is your best revenge, because nothing you do is going to make a dent in this situation. Okay. So you getting away, brava. Okay. You getting away is a good thing. Now, I do see this 10 of Cups on the horizon for you. I feel like that's super loving, kind, generous energy. There needs to be a little more healing here, though. And I feel like some kind of spiritual retreat is in order, getting away, definitely get away from this system as far as you can go. And I'm telling you, don't look back. In all seriousness, it's never going to be what you want it to be. As a card-carrying member of one of those systems, it's never going to be what you want it to be. It's always going to disappoint you. It's always going to show up as, it's not worth your time. Okay. I know that's a really, really harsh thing to say, but my guess is, if you are an empath, you have seen this for years and have tried to do things about it for years, and nothing made a dent. Save yourself. Okay, save yourself. So I know you can see the future here with this Queen of Swords. That is air energy. And I feel like you're taking any kind of situation, whatever it is. Okay, whatever the pain or the wound is, and we all have them. There's something really magical at the center of this. So I teach a lot about Chiron, which is in your astrology, which is in your natal chart, and that is our wound. It can come from childhood, it can come from past lives, whatever it is, but it is a karmic wound that basically says in this life this is something that you will need to be aware of, you'll need to accept, that's the next one, acceptance, have humility about, meaning don't strike back. That's not really the thing. I'm concerned with you, okay? Being able to move beyond any kind of toxic relationship patterns, because this does not end just because you get to be 21. It follows you. And so look back. If you've had toxic friendships, toxic love partnerships, whatever, this has just followed you. And you're constantly looking to work on it with another person. So right now, as Pluto moves into your sign of Aquarius, this is about long-term transformational healing. And you may already be out of it. You may already be kind of like, wow, okay, I made it over the castle wall. And now what? This is a time of being aware of what's going on with you, whatever patterns you have, whatever things that have kept you from your greatest happiness. You're now being given the time and the wherewithal or the resources to change this, to heal this. And some of you, one of those gifts or some of those gifts are spiritual gifts, psychic, being some kind of mystic or shaman. It's almost like you're leading other people out of this kind of thing too. And however you're doing it, it could be through storytelling. It could be through your own story being told. It's remarkable how important it is to hear other people's stories. Number one, we know we're not alone. Number two, we know it's possible to move on from something, to have a healthier life, to have a happy life. This jealousy piece is something that I feel like you might have always brushed off as like, someone said to you, maybe, you had a rough go with a friend or something like that. And someone said to you, a teacher or something like that, oh, they're just jealous or something like that. And you might have always kind of brushed that off as like, who would be jealous of me because I've been told I'm not that awesome? Guess where that came from? So there's a sense of like, actually, no one tries to squash the light of someone who doesn't shine brightly. Nope. People only try to squash the light when it is bright, when it is something magical, when it is something special. Otherwise, why would you try? Why would you even try? 10 of Wands. You can offload these burdens of people being manipulative now. Oh, look at this, and moving on from it. Like, literally, look at that. Offloading the burdens of people, any manipulation. This could be, if this is showing up in a love partnership, it came from somewhere. This is deeper than what you might think. And some of you are offloading maybe a toxic work environment, a toxic boss, narcissistic spouse or something. And if you're like, okay, yeah, this pattern has crept up over and over again in my life. But there's I feel like some of you might have a person in front of you, maybe right now, that you feel doesn't fall into this category because you don't want them to or something like that. But then suddenly you see it, the awareness happens and like, oh, wow. Maybe like a spouse, right? Like, oh no, they're not like that at all. That's not them at all. And there's a facet of it that really is like that. And you might not see it, especially if you have them on a pedestal or something like that. And, but sometimes this requires, the awareness of everything that went on in order to see what's going on right now. Okay. In order to see that. 10 of Pentacles. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles. 4 of Swords. Wow. Healing. Beautiful healing energy here. 6 of Cups. 3 of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. So this is about using your past as a way of building your future. So let me say a couple things here. So when you're unconscious about what's happened in your past, you just repeat it over and over again, hoping for a different result, right? It's a very unconscious process. However, if you're conscious of it, then you can see what's going on, and you can try to get to sort of the root of things as to why this is the way it is or what's happening here. And that story that you learn, especially if it's I feel like this is a really powerful lesson for some of you. And some of you have given people a pass who have been very, either you've just been like, oh, that's just the way they are. They're kind of gruff. They don't have a sense of humor, or they're tough. That's a tough boss. That's a good thing. Actually, they may be targeting you, especially if you're not noticing that behavior with anybody else. A tough boss is a tough boss is a tough boss across the board. But someone who's only tough with you, that's a them problem. Okay. And even a tough boss sometimes is, not, if they're not benevolent in some way, if they're demanding and exacting, but they're not willing to teach or help you learn, that is something that's an unconscious kind of behavior that they actually need to work on. That is a them problem, especially if they single you out, because I am seeing something here about being singled out. So, and you're definitely singled out if you have a spouse like this, because you are the other person. So if you're seeing that in love relationships, that you're the one carrying all the burden and having none of the benefit of it, and being left out in the cold, and being the one who's being, sort of had to carry the weight of everything. I hope you're watching this reading, and I hope that this is like a 5-alarm fire bell going off in your head, going ding, 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 ding. This is something that really needs my attention. Okay. And I want to clarify this jealousy thing, because I feel like the story of the past is bringing in a lot of abundance for you. So this can be about writing a book or creating some kind of independent financial means, especially if you relied on the family a lot more in the past. And there's something here very peaceful and zen about moving forward. And it's really tapping into your creativity now, because you're like, oh, that was the thing that was drummed out of me as a kid, that having creativity was really a threat. Because art is truth. Okay, art is truth. Creativity comes from authenticity. When someone creates any kind of art out of a lie, it's very obvious to people that it's not touching anything that is authentic. It's not touching anything that makes people think or anything like that. You can create art out of another powerful emotion, but if it's a lie, that's like AI. Like, there's no soul there. Okay? And the Three of Pentacles here makes me feel like you're telling some kind of story. Some of you could be telling this story. Now, talk to me about this jealousy piece. This is other people jealous of you, jealous of your life, jealous of your progress. What is this jealousy piece? Wheel of Fortune, Two of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like you've moved on from it. So some of you, this could be in the past, that there has been somebody, or more than one person. I feel like this is about family or about friends who were toxic friends, past, exes, whatever. Just looking at you right now, kind of building your life. And I do feel like, oh, look at this. I do feel like being able to leave, this could be an ex. Okay, I'm just getting this right now. This could be an ex, maybe even a past life spouse, okay, who's in your life now as another kind of relationship, and you have moved on from them, or you're in the process of doing it. Good for you, because Two of Pentacles, lots of opportunities being offered to you. And that King of Wands is almost like a future spouse or a future partner that is kind of now really seeing the true you. when you're in this kind of dysfunctional system, or you have been maybe for a long time like this, like, hey, I'm seeing dysfunction around every corner, I'm seeing narcissism around every corner, and, I'm not able to really put it together. But suddenly I feel like there's some kind of aha moment coming this month. I really do. I feel like there's an aha moment coming this month. We have a lot going on. We have a new moon in Scorpio, and that's about digging deep. That's about um, being able to be intimate. And when you are constantly battling against a toxic spouse or toxic, other people, you're constantly battling against this Five of Swords. There's no intimacy there. You're just trying to protect yourself. You're just like this. And a lot of times it can be sort of a new skill to learn. Like, how do I learn to trust? How do I learn to get into this new relationship? And I feel like you might get into it, Three of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, maybe through your work, or maybe through something that's creative. Okay. And maybe you're writing a book, or like, I keep going back to writing a book, because it's something about telling a story. And it could be art, right? The sun, there's Leo energy. That's creative energy. Leo, and a lot of really great art can come from strong emotion, like rage. Okay. Rage or fury, frustration. There's the Queen of Cups. Yes. And justice. I'm going to say this to you. I don't usually, well, that's not true. I give career advice sometimes, but this says something to me, particularly the Knight of Swords, because it's Mercury. Mercury rules Virgo, and Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is the storyteller. Mercury is communication, and Virgo is about healing. So there's something here about maybe the meditation. I see the meditation here twice. There could be some psychic downloads coming in. You could be channeling. You could be moving into channeling. You could be, and that's a great thing, channeling some kind of ancestor. Okay. And some kind of creative work around that balances you out. This is Libra energy. All right. Libra is ruled by Venus. Queen of Cups here. Now, we've gone from Queen of Swords to the Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords is like aha moment. The Queen of Wands is like, what do I do with that? I use my creativity to build my life. And then the Queen of Cups, it's like, okay, now that this story, now that I've made a new story of who I am, I'm able to live my life in a more balanced way. I'm able to be open to relationship. That's when the King of Wands comes on. So this is almost like some kind of exercise, creative exercise, to move you from an old story where other people were telling you who you were, or keeping you down, holding you down, whatever it was, because you had a bright, shiny light. And now you're able to move forward and see that light and utilize that for the benefit of other people. Okay, for the benefit of other people. I see that King of Wands as a possible love partner, a Leo energy here. Leo, Libra. Something that you're not, some kind of, even a Sagittarius, okay? Some kind of energy that is open, expressive, vibrant, aligned with that. And you might be a little bit more kind of closed in around that, Aquarius, much more cerebral. But what you're doing is by tapping into your creative powers, you're able to open up your heart. You're doing some kind of heart healing by opening up your creativity. Okay. And I see that you're moving forward. So I'm going to look at what happens, or what's being offered to you in terms of your career and money. I'm going to look at this King of Wands and who that is. Let's look at what you don't see coming, and let's see what plays out for the rest of the month of November. So if this is your reading, there's a link below if you want to continue on with me, and I will see you over there. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.